Hey guys, it's Davey here, and it's currently day 104. I hope you guys have had an amazing day, and I do hope you guys are doing better than yesterday and starting this fresh week off strong, like always. But what I want to talk about today is pretty much how my day went, right? And it absolutely went fabulous. Thanks for asking, right? I started to outreach again. It wasn't the first thing I had on my mind to do coming back from my defeat, but as I started to build the good habits again, as I started to reinforce my identity, it just came naturally, right? I didn't force it. I didn't be like, this is my first day back, so I'm gonna do 100 cold calls and all that crap, right? I simply didn't. I simply didn't have my mind on my business when I first got back and pull myself on my 2 feet. I simply just done the necessary. I read, I listen, I journaled, I meditated, and eventually, when you start snowballing, right, when you start getting momentum going, right, eventually you're gonna start something new. You're gonna start another habit. You're gonna pick up where you left off. And to me, that was outreaching, that was prospecting. Because I cannot just sit at home and read for 4 hours, right? You can only read for so much. You can only read for so much, but you have time where you're going to tell yourself, maybe I should start doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I should start outreaching because I need this business to grow. I need to make something, and eventually I need to do this. So, what do you do with the time you have after you are already in this momentum? You utilize that time and take the opportunity. You take the opportunity to start the habit of what you were supposed to do all along. And that to me was outreaching. And of course, I didn't do a big amount, right? Especially just coming back into the game. You just have to start off small. You just have to start off small because it's like any habit you're trying to build. And you have to make the first few attempts approachable, right? You have to make sure you're not grabbing the cake and trying to shove it down your throat. You gotta take tiny bites. You wanna have bites that kind of satisfies your craving, but you still wanna eat more because it's so good and you know you can have more because you won't get fat. But obviously, like you guys all know, if we continue to eat, we're gonna overeat and we're gonna feel like absolute shit afterwards. But my point is, I started out small just so I can sustain this. I can sustain this and make it into a habit. I gotta make it into a habit. And the only way to do this is to sustain it, build a routine to make it sustainable for the long term. Because this journey of entrepreneurship, of self improvement, self development is a journey for life. So there's no need to rush. Of course, guys, if you can do more, simply do more, right? If you have to do less, do less. Whatever you can take, whatever you can handle, do that. You don't have to live up to the expectations of others, nor below the expectations of others. Simply do what you can and do them consistently because eventually you're going to catch up to everyone ahead of you. But you just have to make a sustainable lifestyle. But there has been something that has been distracting me for the past few days, right? And that is having these rapid thoughts. Having these rapid thoughts and my subconscious attempts to try fight them. I try to fight off my thoughts. And you guys know this is the most common mistake we make trying to remain in presence, trying to remain clear, trying to remain focused is to fight our thoughts because we simply can't fight our mind. We have to be in unity with our mind. But because there was unpleasant memories that came into mind, there was my past, there was these bad habits that surfaced that I wanted to do again. It was these bad associations that I don't want in my life again, which made me want to fight myself because I want to build something for myself. But then again, my mind's telling me, maybe you should try this again because you had such a good experience. But fighting it only makes it worse because you are only fighting yourself. You're not fighting anyone. It is a battle you simply can't win by fighting. You can't win, and you never will win fighting your mind. You only prolong the distraction. You only make the distraction worse. You may only think about that distraction, that thought, for 2 minutes, just a rough estimate. But by fighting it, you're constantly reinforcing that memory, that distraction, and you're going to prolong that to 10 minutes. And that 10 minutes, you're basically in a danger zone for 10 minutes, right? You're in a danger zone where any moment you're going to give in, right? You're going to give in because your willpower gives in. We cannot rely on willpower, and leaving ourselves in this danger zone relies on willpower because we cannot keep on fighting. We simply cannot win over our mind. That's not how we fight. That's not how we become present. We have to let it go. And that is something I still need to learn myself because, like when we raise our concerns over criticism, it's also much easier to fight than to acknowledge our thoughts. So instead of leaving my mind on its own to overcome itself, I bring my voice into action to guide my mind. And this I have found to help me out so much. We simply cannot just leave our mind on its own devices and let our mind battle our mind. We got to bring some consciousness into the thought that we are still present. And what I found working for me, and it may work for you guys, is also just speak, right? Speak to yourself. It may sound weird. It may sound weird because you've never done it before, but just speaking to yourself will snap you back into reality, right? It will snap you back into reality. For example, when I get distracted by my thought, I first let it play out. I let the thought play out, whatever I'm thinking, just let it go. Try not to fight it. And eventually, if I do those steps, the thought will eventually fade away. But in cases where it doesn't go, I actually say to myself, loudly, whatever, but you have to hear it. You can't be a quiet whisper. I say to myself what I need to do or what I was doing before I got distracted. So if I was reading, I'll say to myself that, look, I need to read, I need to finish reading. And that just tells my mind, that's enough, man. You've been talking for so long. I let you talk. Now I need to get back to my shit, And as simple as that, to kind of make myself be present again. And it's so helpful. So utilize this tool because really it's free, guys. It's free, and this is yourself. You got to be comfortable saying things that is uncomfortable because you're helping yourself. This is something you do to help yourself. So just try it. If it works or not, you'll find out. But by not doing it, you're gonna never know. And that's, yeah. And just by speaking to myself, I managed to stay present more than likely. But yes, no matter what I do, no matter how many times I stay present, I will get distracted. And you will get distracted a shit ton. And you just got to ignore it, guys. You simply have to ignore your thoughts for however long it takes because we can't stop. We never will stop thinking. You are just training yourself to be able to switch from thought to present quicker than before. That is the only difference by training your mind, by training this essential skill that I recommend you guys master because it is essential for success to master your mind. But we never will truly control it. We never will truly switch it off because we can't just stop thinking. The only difference for training ourselves, for training our mind, is literally how quick we can switch from our thought to present. So instead of thinking for 10 minutes in our head, it may just be 10 seconds. And that is drastic. And that is drastic. And it will make a drastic change. As those who can't have unity with their mind will always be enslaved by their thoughts. So practice it. Anytime you get distracted, just let it go. Simply don't fight it, and it will be hard. It has been hard for me, and I have fought my thoughts a lot of times. But let me tell you something, guys. Whenever I fight my thoughts, not only do I feel bad afterwards. Not only do I feel drained afterwards, but sometimes I give in to my thoughts. Yes, my thoughts win over. Never have I won by fighting with my thoughts. Never have I felt great fighting in general. We simply just have to acknowledge ourselves. We simply just have to let things go. And by doing this, I can guarantee you, you'll feel infinitely more happier. You'll be more acceptable to be yourself. And life will continue on far greater. But that's all I gotta say for today, guys. I do hope you guys had an amazing day, and I do hope you guys found this valuable in any way. But if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. So, see you guys then. Good night.